on the debate. Arnab Goswami on the debate.
Ladies and gentlemen, time now for the nation's sharpest opinion. And I have said that it's time to send a message, and today I want to send a very clear message. People are constantly beginning to ask me, is the American deep state going to go after the Modi government? And I think it will. And I'm here today to caution people, the people of India, of how far Donald Trump and the American deep state can go regarding the Indian government. I have certain indications that make me believe that there is already a very strong, unstated conflict going on between the American deep state and our nation. The latest proof today, FBI agents raided the Washington, D.C. residence of former Trump National Security Advisor John Bolton, ladies and gentlemen. He was once National Security Advisor. John Bolton with Donald Trump in his first administration. And this is, by the way, the same John Bolton who said, it turns out that Russia has not faced any new sanctions. China has not faced any new sanctions, notwithstanding the fact that they were the major purchasers of Russian oil and gas. India has been singled out. So John Bolton, who earlier worked with Donald Trump, supported India, and he has been raided by the FBI. The American deep state has started functioning and singling out all people who support India. Shortly after the raid began, Kash Patel of the FBI wrote in a post on X, "No one is above the law," he said. No one is above the law. And then Trump turned on Bolton and said, he's a lowlife. That's the kind of language being used. His own former national security advisor, Trump's own former national security advisor, is being called a lowlife by Donald Trump. Why? Why, ladies and gentlemen? Because he supported India. It is time we understand anyone who supports India will be targeted by a vengeful American deep state who are being told what to do by Donald Trump. Ladies and gentlemen, the message is simple. You support India and the American deep state will go after you. Can there be a better definition of deep state at work than the US FBI going out of its way to target anyone who supports the Narendra Modi government? Some Indians were foolish to celebrate the appointment of Kash Patel. My point is that if the FBI can get involved, then mark my words, the CIA is already involved. The State Department is already involved. We are being targeted strongly by the American deep state. Look at the words of White House trade advisor Peter Navarro. He says, if India wants to be treated as a strategic partner of the US, it needs to start acting like one. Look at the words he uses. They call us cheats. The Americans, Donald Trump's people are calling us cheats. He's calling India laundromat of the Kremlin. He's calling India a country that cheats on trade. Listen to this man.
When you think about the tariffs we're putting in place, 25% because they cheat us on trade, 25% because of the Russian oil. I ask you this, what is the net impact on the Americans because of our trade with India? Well, let's think about it. They have higher tariffs, they're Maharaja tariffs, higher non-tariff barriers. We run a massive trade deficit with them, so that hurts American workers, hurts American businesses. Then they use the money that they get from us when they sell us stuff to buy Russian oil, which then is processed by refiners, and they make a bunch of money there. But then the Russians use the money to build more arms and kill Ukrainians.
Well, this is this mad MAGA view of the world where the world begins and ends, ladies and gentlemen, in Minnesota. If there are any cheats, if there are cheats, ladies and gentlemen, if there are people who are laundromats, it is unfortunately the Americans themselves who are doing more and more trade with Russia. They've increased trade on uranium, on critical minerals. They are buying that. And when we ask them, remember, Trump had absolutely no answer. The point is, viewers, what the Americans are doing is signaled to the Modi government. We are going to come after you. They're signaling to the people of India, to you and me, that we are going to come after you. These are desperate words. The Americans are very desperate. Remember, the American deep state will go to any extent. Remember, they put the puppet Muhammad Yunus as the chief advisor to the government of Bangladesh on August 8th last year. The man can't win a municipal election in Bangladesh. And then he went on stage with Clinton and he revealed the whole story. He revealed how the American deep state worked with him to oust the government. He actually made an open revelation that we worked together with the Americans to create an operation to change the government at American behest. At this time, viewers, our nation has a choice. We want to bend or we want to fight. Narendra Modi has decided to fight. Listen to his words again. Just listen to his words for a moment.
भारत अपने किसानों के, पशुपालकों के और मछुआरे भाई बहनों के हितों के साथ कभी भी समझौता नहीं करेगा। और मैं जानता हूं व्यक्तिगत रूप से मुझे बहुत बड़ी कीमत चुकानी पड़ेगी, लेकिन मैं इसके लिए तैयार हूं।
Our Prime Minister is saying he is ready to pay a price. The question I'm asking you, are you willing to fight alongside him when he fights for our national interest? Or will you work against national interest and fight him at this moment? Ladies and gentlemen, the nation is greater than anything else. If the Prime Minister of India is fighting for the country, it becomes our moral obligation to stand alongside him. Remember, we are taking on the Americans. I want to put some numbers before you today. We have refused to open up $650 billion US agricultural sector. That's why the Americans are angry. We have refused to open up our $135 billion dairy sector. That's why Trump is furious. The American deep state is very angry with Narendra Modi. And given Donald Trump's tantrums, the US is set to lose India's EV market that is projected to grow to $113 billion US by 2029. Just these three numbers together that I put before you, ladies and gentlemen, almost amounts to 900 to 1,000 billion US dollars. And the Americans want that money. They want that entry into our market. And they're very obstinate. In the past, they have shown that anyone who stops them from doing business on their terms, they fight and want to remove. Make no mistake, as we fight for our national interest, we are earning many unseen enemies. And please know this today, that nothing happens without foreign interference. Look what happened. I do not believe anything happened without foreign interference. Look what happened on 26 January 2021 in Red Fort, and remind yourself that the entire amplification, the toolkit network of Greta Thunberg was run by woke American deep state sermons. They were responsible for trying to remove the Tiranga from the Red Fort, ladies and gentlemen. Can we ever forget that moment? What happened in Shaheen Bagh on December 2019, the entire anti-India protest made international headlines, and there was a sudden woke, dangerous amplification. Ponder and think who was feeding all this. Do you need to be reminded, viewers, what happened in the 2022 Jahangir Puri riots when more than 40 people were arrested, ladies and gentlemen, and dozens of people were killed? Do we need to be reminded? Were there no foreign forces behind that? Was there not a sinister design? Are these not attempts to try and contain India's rise? Does this not help powers who are inimical to India's growth? And I want to say to them today, you foreign powers, foreign agents, intelligence agents, State Department, deep state, try anything. You cannot stop India's growth from 4 trillion to 10 trillion to 20 trillion. Ladies and gentlemen, we all know the Canadian angle in the so-called fake farmers protest, and I want to keep reminding you tonight. And this weekend, tell everyone to watch this. Remind people what happened in July 2024 in Bangladesh, when Bangladesh was ripped apart. A democratically elected leader was made to flee her own country by these same American groups, ladies and gentlemen, on 5th August 2024. Why? Because she fought the American deep state, because she spoke her mind. America on multiple occasions were angry with her because she was not giving up sovereignty over St. Martin's Island, where they wanted to set up a very large American military base to control and increase their presence alongside Myanmar, alongside Bangladesh. And ladies and gentlemen, they have ruined Bangladesh. Ruined. These American deep state ruined Bangladesh. They can say what they want, but today the Bangladeshi economy is growing at its slowest in almost 4 decades. They destroyed Bangladesh, and they take no responsibility. No responsibility for it. Imran Khan, he survived an assassination attempt. I'm no fan of Imran Khan, but the fact of the matter is he spoke against the Americans. Then he was jailed and even attacked inside the jail. He survived an assassination attempt inside his own country on 3rd November 2022. And ladies and gentlemen, as the American deep state works, I want to remind you again what they are likely to do here in India. What they are likely to do is spark a sense of doubt among the people of our country about their own nation, about their own government, about their own nation's institutions. And there is no dearth of people who are waiting for a chance to light the fire, to spread the doubt. You can only listen today. Once again, I remind you, after Bangladesh, you remember what Salman Khurshid of the Congress said. You remember what Manishankar Ayyar of the Congress said. Ladies and gentlemen, just listen to these sound bites and make your mind up for yourself. And as you listen to them, I appeal to you tonight. Let us fight this sense of doubt that some people have their own vested political interests to push. Listen to this and beware.
What's happening in Bangladesh can happen here. It's just that Bangladesh is a concentration of much that we have in our country. And the spread in our country prevents things blowing up in the manner in which they've blown up in Bangladesh. But whatever is happening in Bangladesh is terrible.
ऐसी परिस्थिति में हम ये भी कह सकते हैं कि जैसा कि शक पैदा हुआ लोगों के मन में बांग्लादेश में कि ये फ्री एंड फेयर इलेक्शन है क्या?
Do you hear these words, ladies and gentlemen? Don't you get a feeling there are some people in India who want what happened in Bangladesh to happen to India? But the American deep state has destroyed Bangladesh today. Do we want our nation to be destroyed? We have no option. We have to come together. Reality is, ladies and gentlemen, America wants to contain India. They keep saying we are $30+ trillion. India is only $4.4 trillion. Why should we be insecure of India? Fact of the matter is, let us look at the same number in purchasing power parity terms. Let us look at our growth. I want to show the numbers to you. If you look at things in purchasing power parity terms, India is at 15 trillion, US is at 29 trillion. In purchasing power parity terms, we, the world's most populous nation, the world's largest democracy, our economy, in purchasing power parity terms, is already close to 2/3 that of the United States of America. That's not such a big gap. Give us 10 years in PPP terms, maybe even earlier, we'll be bigger than the United States of America. We are a real challenge to American hegemony. We are a real challenge to American hegemony. There are past examples of the deep state. Remember what Natwar Singh, former minister in the Congress government, said. He revealed in his book. He said the CIA has infiltrated the decision-making apparatus of the UPA. He said agencies decide who gets a ministerial berth. Every sphere of the UPA was penetrated by the CIA. And that's the situation. That's the kind of intent that we have to fight. Our government, Narendra Modi government, has decided to fight it because, not because we hate the Americans, but because we have to stand up for our own interests. Because today we're dealing with a very unstable Trump who's surrounded by cheerleaders like Vance, Rubio, Kash Patel. Together, these people have made India the enemy. They have sidelined Tulsi Gabbard, who was questioning Donald Trump. They've made India the enemy because by making India the enemy, they can play to the Trump game. And very interestingly, the same Donald Trump, who himself said earlier that US aid was trying to finance people Remember what he had said earlier. Trump had said earlier that US aid, government aid, was financing political parties to set up someone other than Narendra Modi in power, has changed his line. This is what he had said earlier. This is what he had himself said earlier.
And $21 million for voter turnout in India. What do we need to spend $21 million for voter turnout in India? Wow, $21 million. I guess they were trying to get somebody else elected. Well, we ought to tell the Indian government, because when we hear that Russia spent about $2 in our country, it was a big deal, right? They took some internet ads for $2,000. This is a total breakthrough. $21 million for India elections.
And please note, Trump said then someone was giving $21 million to get someone else than Narendra Modi elected in India. Today, the same United States officially is saying that never happened, which means they are going back on Trump's claim. I'm not going to suggest which political party the American deep state is supporting, but they are now flipping. They are saying USA did not receive 21 million for voter turnout in India. So what did the money go for? Charity. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very dangerous moment in our country, but it's also a moment of great opportunity. I need to tell you all that you need to play your role as citizens of this country to make sure that the deep state can never pull our country down. What can you do? Here are a few things I think you can do. You can be very watchful of disinformation campaigns in this period, attempts to put a sense of doubt in your mind. You need to be very watchful of these Maoist media, of some dangerous YouTubers' narratives. You need to keep your guard up against what is being fed by the Maoist media and the deep state actors, possibly in India. You need to be very careful of politicians and vested interests who may feel that this is the time to target the government, to target India. You need to be very careful when you see some politicians having some foreign trips and suddenly one activist becomes hyperactive on foreign shores. When there are reports being released on India's democracy, you will find false cases being whipped up by the NGO brigades. You will see the lobby running to UN bodies. You will see some Maoist lobbies become hyperactive. And you will see a lot of divisive politics being spread in India on caste, religious, and economic lines. And I am 100% sure that since, and it's not a question of whether or when, but how the deep state will try and target our country, ladies and gentlemen, you need to be very careful of the invisible Soros gang. This is their moment, they believe, once again. And Soros gang hates Trump, but both right now hate India. So they will even come together on that. My gut feeling is they will all come together to try and target our country. Now, why did I say that despite these dangerous times, it's a great moment? Because my gut feeling is, and I know, that greatness is achieved out of such moments of churn. This is a churn, ladies and gentlemen, and out of that churn will remain, and we will build together a greater India, the greatest India. Ladies and gentlemen, make India great again. Let's fight back. Please share this video with as many people as possible so that we constantly fight together, all of us, fight this disinformation campaign. Whether or not you are a member of our nationalist collective, I hope you are, please do spread this video. Thank you for watching.
They are everywhere.
Here's my plan to dismantle the deep state and reclaim our democracy from Washington corruption once and for all.
They work in mysterious ways with only one goal in mind: total domination. You may think that things are happening randomly, but it is all calculated to the minutest of details.
It's amazing, meticulously designed thing. It's not just suddenly came, it's not like that. Very well designed. Even the leadership pattern, people don't know who the leader is. So you can't catch one and say, okay, it's over. It's not over. So it's completely diverse.
The holding of free and fair elections is the responsibility of everyone. Voters, political parties, the government, the security forces, civil society, and the media. And our message today to the people of Bangladesh is that we stand behind you, we stand behind free and fair elections, and we are announcing this policy to support democracy
Nobody can escape their design, not even their staunch stooges. Since last year, concerns have been high if similar designs are being targeted towards India.
ऐसे परिस्थिति में हम ये भी कह सकते हैं कि जैसा कि शक पैदा हुआ लोगों के मन में बांग्लादेश में कि ये फ्री एंड फेयर इलेक्शन है क्या, वैसे ही शक यहाँ भी आने लगे हैं. वहाँ तो उभर गए हैं लेकिन यहाँ भी वो शुरू हो गए हैं.
What's happening in Bangladesh can happen here. It's just that Bangladesh is a concentration of much that we have in our country, and the spread in our country prevents things blowing up in the manner in which they've blown up in Bangladesh. But whatever is happening in Bangladesh is terrible.
$21 million for voter turnout in India. What do we need to spend $21 million for voter turnout in India? Wow, $21 million. I guess they were trying to get somebody else elected. Wow, we ought to tell the Indian government, because when we hear that Russia spent about $2 in our country, it was a big deal, right? Total breakthrough. $21 million for India elections.
But something has changed in recent months. The contempt is resurging again.
India doesn't appear to want to recognize its role in the bloodshed. It simply doesn't. It's cozying up to Xi Jinping. They don't need the oil. It's a refining profiteering scheme. It's a laundromat for the Kremlin. That's the reality of that. So I love India. Look, Modi's a great leader, but please, India, look at what your role here is in the global economy and good here. It's like what you're doing right now is not creating peace.
And a game much bigger than a Nobel Peace Prize fit seems to be on the horizon.
भारत अपने किसानों के, पशुपालकों के और मछुआरे भाई बहनों के हितों के साथ कभी भी समझौता नहीं करेगा. और मैं जानता हूं व्यक्तिगत रूप से मुझे बहुत बड़ी कीमत चुकानी पड़ेगी, लेकिन मैं इसके लिए तैयार हूं.
One by one, all who stand in the way are being targeted with impunity. Just days after his position on Trump sending India and US ties into a tailspin, Trump's former national security advisor was today raided by the FBI. The ones that India cheered about are speaking different tunes. The ones that India once trusted.
Our kids just like it. And I think that because kids are such good, strong of characters, I just like Prime Minister Modi too. And I think it's a great foundation for the future of our relationship.
Are today standing as mute spectators. The ones that were eyeing for a deal.
Is the deal with India finalized?
No, it's not.
Okay. So what rate are you expecting?
Well, we're going to see. We're going to see. But India's been a good friend, but India has charged basically more tariffs than almost any other country.
Are now eyeing for much more. The face has changed, but the hand still remains.
Vice President Vance was in India last week. I think that he and Modi made some very good progress, so I could see some announcements on India.
And now there is once again talk of fire in the nation.
Everybody knows this, except the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister. Everybody knows that the Indian economy is a dead economy. I'm glad that President Trump has stated a fact.
29 बार उन्होंने बोला कि भैया मैंने सीज फायर करवाया. अगर वो झूठ बोल रहे हैं तो अपने भाषण में यहाँ प्रधानमंत्री कह दें कि वो झूठ बोल रहे हैं. यहाँ पे अगर दम है तो यहाँ पे प्रधानमंत्री बोल दे कि ट्रंप झूठ बोल रहे हैं.
There is a fire that is starting in Bihar. And you will see, I'm inviting all the senior leaders to come and see this fire because it is catching fire. मतलब वो आग फैल रही है.
The fight has begun. The lines are drawn and the sides are clear. It is the nation versus deep state.
भारत के किसान, भारत के मछुआरे, भारत के पशुपालक, उनसे जुड़ी किसी भी अहितकारी नीति के आगे मोदी दीवार बन के खड़ा है।
So if the deep state is going to attack us, which they already are, how should we respond? Should we stand like with the enemy? I'm not saying America is the enemy, but anyone who attacks is obviously an enemy. Right? Should we stand with those who are attacking us, or should we stand with those who are defending our national interests? Simple question. Okay. I'm opening up the debate. John Bolton supported Narendra Modi. John Bolton supported Narendra Modi and the Narendra Modi government, saying Narendra Modi government is being singled out. And John Bolton got raided by the FBI. John Bolton has worked with Donald Trump as his NSA, which means that it's all-out fight. Any doubts among anyone? Anyone wants to come in on my initial observations? American deep state has opened a fight against India.
Arnab,
Okay, one minute. I see Ratan Sharda and Nikhil come in. So Ratan Sharda first, then Nikhil, opening the debate on the deep state. Viewers. Yeah.
Arnab, you have summarized the entire dilemma of US state as well as the danger that we face very well. I think you have covered every aspect of this particular risk and danger. Now, issue is that nobody likes a strong country, and US is the last person. As Kissinger very famously said, US is dangerous as a friend, enemy, but is more dangerous as a friend.
Yeah.
So you can either live with him or you can avoid him. But USA's bitter truth is USA is a declining economy. To shore it up, it will keep on creating every kind of trouble. And behavior of Trump is like some lady being denied her right, and when he wanted Modi to toe the line, Modi didn't toe the line. He wants his nation's agriculture and primary produce to succeed. We want us to succeed. This is very clear. And to expect him to do anything else is, I think, we will be foolish to expect the US to do anything else, because for them, their nation is first, for us, our nation is first. But the hypocrisy of the entire thing, those who said that Pakistan is a terror state and who talked about Pakistan being deprived all the aid, today they are saying the best supporters of terrorism. What can be bigger joke? And Myanmar is the only country where there are people who relish at the sight of India being put down or India being seen in a negative light. Nowhere else in the world I have seen opposition relishing when somebody says
I think the fight is on. The fight is on. The only question is
people start joking about
the fight is on. The only question is, are we going to fight all those who are inimical to our interests as a nation together, or are some people going to fight the India itself?
When sanctions was put in 1998, we fought back, our people fought back, and we came out very well.
Let me get in Nikhil Jain. He was dying to come in. Nikhil.
Nobody can oppress it. Nobody can exploit
in your starting half an hour package, you made a very important point, how the US deep state was presumably, possibly involved in the Delhi riots. I think that is something that is of the greatest pertinence to your viewers, that when you ask the question that who should we be standing with right now, forces that are acting against India or forces that are defending India, I think we should be standing with forces that can defend India. A government, a prime minister, a foreign minister, a home minister that are so thoroughly incompetent that the law and order in the national capital is somehow being influenced by the US deep state. I think they have no right to be in power. I think they have to resign. They have to let go of power, and they have to transfer power to a government, to a political party, to a political establishment that can actually take care of India. So far as Natwar Singh's statement that you initially played, I think your viewers must know the context to it, that he was somebody who was sacked as the External Affairs Minister of India in 2005, suspended from the party in 2006, and in 2008 he said, "I am quitting the party" at a BJP event. Currently, his son is in the BJP. So whatever allegations he made in 2015 are to be taken with a bucket of salt, right? That being said, you know, the
so
BJP
you are saying
one more contradiction I want to point out. One more contradiction, Arnab, please. I don't really get that. Are we today saying that the US deep state, which until a few months ago you and everybody around was saying that the US deep state is somehow in cohesion with the Democratic Party and George Soros and the entire Democrats ecosystem, are we saying that today the US deep state
I want to respond to that before Subrashta comes in. Thank you, Nikhil, for asking that question. See, Nikhil, you must be aware of some facts. In America, things don't change. Yes, the Biden administration, US used the deep state, and the US deep state had used connections with Soros and Soros fund management. But you must know that the US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has been a hedge fund manager with Soros. So the Soros Foundation has already developed deep links with the US deep state. So you need to be realistic out there that in America, some things are continuous. And please understand, the deep state is not a figment of Arnab Goswami's imagination. There are 50% tariffs on India because the deep state believes that India is a laundromat of the Kremlin. These are their words. Okay? There is an open fight. And John Bolton, whose only fault, John Bolton's only fault is that he has been speaking openly against Trump's actions on India. And they have almost arrested him. If we are going to close our eyes right now. I request your leader Rahul Gandhi to stop taking sides and joining hands with Trump at this time. He's making more people in India inimical to him. Subrashta.
Rahul Gandhi has never joined hands.
Subrashta. Of course he has. He said Trump is right in calling a $4.4 trillion economy a dead economy. He's speaking like a junior partner of Trump.
Best friend Donald Trump. It was Narendra Modi who campaigned.
Subrashta's turn. Ladies and gentlemen, how do we fight the deep state? We are having an ongoing debate. Subrashta's next turn, please.
Arnab, let's understand one thing. Anybody who is not, I wouldn't use the term jealous here, anybody who has a problem with strong India, any nation who has a problem with strong India, is a nation that really fears the might of all of us standing together for a cause, which is a national cause. Now, any sane individual in this country, whether in the government or in the opposition, will not try and diss the people of this country. But the way Rahul Gandhi sides with any international leader's comment, which is inimical to Indian interest, it really goes on to show that he has some interest to fulfill. And if you're calling it a deep state, then of course it is a deep state. What more evidence do we need? Tell me one place outside India where Rahul Gandhi has gone out and praised the country. Forget about praising the government. Praise the people of this country and said that I see huge potential, economic potential in the youth of this country. I see huge economic potential in the resources of this country. It's always about the fact that it's always about an imagined fact in Rahul Gandhi's head that none of the democratic institutions in this country are sacrosanct and none of them actually work. This is what he has been talking about. And I don't think this can be the scriptwriter who has national interest at its core. I don't think they are going to give that script to Rahul Gandhi. So we'll actually have to look, wait, pause, compare it with what's happening in the world. And you're absolutely right in pointing out that it is a conspiracy of the deep state that is absolutely in collusion with Rahul Gandhi's politics here. Okay, take for example the recent controversies that he has tried to rake up in this country. It is not about how the governments work. It is basically about saying that the processes of democracy in India are not just flawed, but fraud. This is a sitting MP who, by the way, is there because some people in his constituency trusted him to be there. He goes on to say that people of this country are absolutely immaterial. Are we to accept this narrative? I think this narrative has been going on prior to India becoming independent. It's a pre-colonial, colonial and post-colonial narrative by the West, by the Eurocentric powers. How is please explain to me, how is Rahul Gandhi different from any US or UK white man who believes that India is a nation of contradictions and cannot stand for democracy. How are his statements different? Has he ever gone on to show any trust in any youth of this country? Has he gone on to show any kind of trust in the institutions of this country, which, by the way, are put up by the people of this country? What are we debating and what are we talking about? Why do we have to consider Rahul Gandhi's opinions as the holy grail? He comes up with obscure arguments every single day. And he never follows through. Arnab, let me give it to you in writing. Let me put this on record on Republic tonight. After the Bihar elections get over, this conversation on vote chori is going to go. Whether they win or lose is a different argument. If they win, will vote chori stand? And if they lose, still this narrative won't hold. Because Rahul Gandhi does not have the guts and gumption to even carry forward the agenda of the deep state honestly. He's not a leader who understands the intricacies of this country. He is a leader who essentially works on kickbacks. That is my sense. That has been my sense ever since I've started taking him seriously. And he is a dangerous person because today he's no longer finding fault with the governments, with the institutions. He's trying to strike down on something which is a sacred trust between the people of this country and the institutions of this country. Please mind, I'm not using the word government. I'm not talking about BJP here. I'm not talking about the Modi government here. What Rahul Gandhi is trying to say is that no institution in this country can work because fundamentally we are flawed individuals who do not know what's happening around us.
See, I'm beginning from a premise that America will now use every weapon it has to target India. Because of Narendra Modi's public announcements. Narendra Modi made his intention very clear. I know there's been no direct contact between Narendra Modi and Donald Trump right now. And I don't see it happening also in the imminent future. Narendra Modi has hardened his position, Harish. Now, question is, what is he saying? I will not allow you to enter Indian agriculture. I will not allow genetically modified crops. Right? I will not open up your dairy producers, your billions of dollars of dairy producers market. I will put on hold the F-35 deal. I will not stop purchasing Russian oil. Right? I will put hundreds of billions of dollars of trade, potential trade for the Americans on hold. I'm not going to agree to the pressure that you're putting on the using tariffs to sign an unequal trade deal. In fact, I don't think there is any country in the world or any leader who has taken on America more directly in a more significant battle that Narendra Modi is doing right now. And he is aware that there will be a blowback from the Americans, but he's ready for it. What he's betting on is the support of the people of India. He's also betting, Harish, that even if there are people like you who want to use this as an opportunity, or parties you support, use this as an opportunity to target him, he believes that the people of this country will see him through, and I think they should. Harish, understand the moment your country is in. Understand the moment your country is in, right? Understand the deep state is extremely real and it is in operation. Understand the import of what happens when John Bolton gets raided for supporting the Modi government. And see the signal, stand with your country. Don't stand against your country. Harish.
Arnab, patriotism is the last resort for scoundrels, and every Indian know how to be patriotic. Speaking against
you have called
BJP
all patriots and nationalist scoundrels on television. Please apologize. No, you are calling patriots and nationalist scoundrels. I am a nationalist. I am a nationalist, and I feel that I will not use equal words for you, but I know the words the people of the country will have. I am a nationalist. I believe in nation first. We have a group called Nationalist Collective. You have called us scoundrels on television, and we are willing to listen to it and say we will take you on intellectually, and we will defeat you intellectually.
BJP and RSS.
You are insecure of nationalists, that's why you're saying that.
To us. First of all, you have given 5 minutes to previous madam to rant against Rahul Gandhi. Even within my 5 seconds of my opening remark, you have jumped in. Please allow me.
She criticized on policy, she criticized on issues.
She didn't call anybody a scoundrel. You have started on that bad note.
No.
Is this your
Subrashta didn't call anyone a scoundrel.
If you are going to do that, then I will sit simply.
You know,
Let your other panelists go for it.
I don't want to.
I'm not opening
I
my
don't
mouth.
respond to individuals who come with an agenda of not addressing the issue.
Okay, fine. Thank you so much for
playing a
bringing me in.
sycophant.
I don't have
But
any
playing a
concerns. Why I'm here?
sycophant to a leader
Why
who
I'm
has
here
done
sitting
nothing
inside?
for India or his
Okay, thank you.
constituents.
Thank you, Arnab.
So
Thank
he
you.
can-
I'm
he
leaving
can-
the show. Because there is no
Yeah,
point.
thank you
are
very
giving
much.
5 minutes
Good
for the
riddance.
women who has been
Good
ranting
riddance.
against Rahul Gandhi.
Harish!
You are not even allowing me to for 5 seconds. What kind of debate is this?
You can't.
Am I fool to sit over here and listen to all the rants? You're not even allowing a single
Okay,
one second
no, but you
over
can't
my
use the word scoundrels or draw a comparison there. Suppose I say people who support Trump right now are scoundrels.
Why it is hurting you? Why it is hurting you?
Will it hurt you if I say people who support Trump when he speaks against India are scoundrels?
Why it is hurting you?
Will it hurt you?
BJP and
I believe anybody who
doesn't-
stands against the country when the country is
and
facing
RSS
challenges,
doesn't
I
have
believe
to
those
see
people are the real scoundrels, not
patriotism.
nationalists.
BJP and RSS is not the only channel where they can teach patriotism to every Indian. And the same Narendra Modi have gone to campaign against his own friend Donald Trump. And it is a policy failure. It is an international diplomacy failure. You have to accept that. Whatever Mr. Modi and his campaign of external affairs minister have done for this nation is a total failure. And you can go ahead and brush under
Okay,
the
I ask
carpet
you, Harish,
using
Harish,
all the rhetoric and all the theories
1 minute,
that
let me expose you. Let me expose you nicely. Harish, listen to me.
It is a diplomatic failure.
Harish,
You accept
a
that
simple
and
question to you. Can you calm down for a minute? Don't get emotional.
No, it is not emotional.
Don't get
You have to
emotional.
allow
Listen
for
to
fans
me.
of debate.
Listen to me. Okay, you are the Prime Minister of India. Okay? Would you or would you not import Russian oil?
Of course, if it's giving me an economic power, then I will automatically do it.
Okay, and then Trump comes in and says, stop buying Russian oil. What would you do?
No, Arnab, international
Would you listen to him?
doesn't play in that
Would
way.
you listen to him? It plays that
then
way.
how you can go and
You have no
how
alternative.
You can go and campaign
See, that's
for
the
a bully?
point. You have
How
no
you can
alternative.
go and campaign for a bully?
I'm talking
And
about the
Rahul
present
Gandhi is the
context.
greatest friend. How you can?
Who has called him a friend?
Can't you know that he?
I don't know. You have not given a single thought on what you would have done differently. You see, it's easy for you to sit and criticize.
No,
Tausif is saying something. Tausif,
You are
Tausif.
What
happened
Who
with
is
Dinesh first?
benefiting? Who is profiting from Russian oil? It is the rich Indian corporate house which is benefiting from Russian oil. It's not the middle class. It's not the poor. It's not the farmer who is getting the benefits of cheap Russian oil. All the benefits, all the profits from cheap Russian oil import is being pocketed by the business house Narendra Modi's friends. It's not the middle class. It's not the masses who is benefiting from
or we
cheap Russian oil.
buy from whoever's United States
Prime Minister is not sincere.
I have not asked
Prime
a question
Minister
to you
is
yet.
not showing
Is it
working
going
with
to
full
benefit?
sincerity
No.
for the
Is
people of
US
India.
going to benefit
Mr.
Indian
Modi
farmers?
is working for his
Is
rich
US going to
businessmen
benefit
friends.
Indian youth? Is US
And
going to
only
benefit the poor people of this country? What are you
men of
talking
India
about?
profiting from Russian oil does not
Tausif,
help
I think you
Indian economy, does not
completely
help
lost
the
your
poor
mojo
people
these
or
days.
the middle class of India.
You don't talk logical.
So
You
let's
don't
not
talk
cover
logic
that.
these days. Tausif,
people
please
of India
listen
are
to what
smart
you're
to
saying.
understand
You are
this.
saying that buying Russian
From
oil,
last couple of years,
Russian oil is going
India
to
is
benefit
importing
corporate
cheaper crude oil,
Is he trying
but
to
is
say,
not passing the
Arnab,
benefits
is he trying
to
to
the
say
poor
that
of
buying
just a bit.
US is going to directly transfer cash to the poor people of this country?
By the rich Indian
That's what the
businessmen,
opposition
by
believes
Mr. Modi's friends. Mr. Modi's friends, businessmen friends, they are profiting they are pocketing the profits from
I heard
the,
you, Tausif.
poor-
I just
the-
ask a counter question to you.
Yes,
Am I speaking in some ill
Subrashta, louder.
Arnab,
Where is
if
Dinesh?
Mr. Modi agrees to, if according to the opposition, Mr. Modi should agree to
Modi is a
what the
failure.
US.
What do you mean
All right.
by-
So let us for a second. Okay, hold on. Allow me to speak.
entire
So
country-
okay, for a moment.
Modi
If India
Subrashta.
buys oil from the US,
Modi did-
are they trying to
How
say
did
that
Modi-
direct cash
Modi
benefit is
said
going to happen to
Subrashta,
people in this
louder.
country?
Subhrashta, louder.
He has been backstabbed. Modi is
Arnab, I'm asking a simple question. If the opposition of the country believes that India should not buy oil from Russia, or that buying Russian oil is going to favorably, impact our corporates, Indian corporates, then let me ask a counter question to them. Playing to the tune of the US, is it going to do direct cash benefit to the poor of this country? Can Rahul Gandhi or TMC come and put it on affidavit and put it on record and say that let me broker that deal with Mr. Trump, and tomorrow if you buy oil from either the US or whoever the US asks you to, we are going to ensure that such and such amount is going to be via a DBT to every poor person in this country.
Madam, the entire Indians know who benefit out of Russian oil so far.
I'm asking, I understand, I take
the general people.
Sir, I am agreeing. Arnab, do they not understand English?
Harish, let me ask you this. Harish, a question to you. Harish, be logical. Don't be so illogical. I ask you a question. Listen. Harish, listen to me.
What kind of lie is that?
Harish, if somebody is buying Russian oil, okay, and just listen to the full thing. Harish, just be quiet. No, I'm saying something. Be logical. I'm asking you something. I want Russian oil to be bought and refined in Indian refineries. I don't want them to go through a refining process in Malaysia, brought to India. We spent in transportation, refinery and additional costs, and then sold to Europe. I would rather it go directly through India. What do you want? You want oil from India to go to Saudi Arabia or Philippines? You're being illogical, my friend. You're not enough. There's no argument here.
Statement you are making. What kind of illogical statement is that?
You don't know any basics.
Oil, and if you are doing
that, we are buying Russian oil to help Indians to keep the price low. Does it keep the price low for Indians? Ratan Sharda, I give up on him.
What kind of illogical
when you go to a petrol pump, you buy diesel or petrol, you are getting it cheap because we are doing this with Russian oil. Are you willing to pay twice the amount?
No. Just because
Ratan Sharda
corporates are becoming giants, they are making profit, the surplus coming to Indian economy, they are not happy. They want surplus to go to America. They want the surplus to go to Saudi Arabia. Where do you want the surplus to go?
Anyway, you want Bangladesh to happen in India? Let me ask directly. Nikhil, you want a Bangladesh to happen in India? You know what? Congress party wants a Bangladesh-like situation in India, and maybe Congress party thinks today.
Very clear. They don't
first of all, when the ruling party of the country or sympathizers of the ruling party think that the leader of opposition and the largest opposition party in the country are somehow trying to act against India's interests, are inimical to India's interests, that shows the lack of honesty and integrity in the arguments that they're making. At the end of the day, Rahul Gandhi is the leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha. He does represent the voice of 40% of Indians who voted for the Congress and other opposition parties in the India alliance.
1 minute. How did you say 1 minute? 1 minute. Interesting comment. Are you saying 1 minute? Just a minute. You see how 1 minute. Ratan Sharda, please hear me. This is very big out here. A person comes on my program and utters a complete lie, right? He says that the Congress party got 40% vote share in the country. And I say, Subhrashta, if the Congress party got 40% vote share, no.
I was very clear. Have your piece.
No. I can't let you get away with that, Baba.
No.
Congress party got 40% vote share.
I never said that.
Baba, Congress party got 40% vote share. Congress party got 20% vote share. If you had got 40% vote share, you would have been in power. That's why you're crying about vote chori. Subhrashta. Kitni badi jhoot. How easily you lie? I caught you lying because this is Republic. I catch you lying. You're a liar. Subhrashta, see, he lied.
In 2024 general elections, we not only chose Nikhil, I'm just trying to...
Congress person caught lying on my program.
I'm trying to strengthen your own argument, Nikhil. In 2024 elections, we did not choose the Prime Minister alone. we also chose an opposition. Now, how the Prime Minister performs is his prerogative, and how the opposition performs is your prerogative, not the prerogative of the Prime Minister. So if Rahul Gandhi tomorrow comes and says that votes have been have gotten choried in this country, have been stolen in this country, he needs to prove it. Prove it
He has,
hold on.
and he's given
he needs to. Hold on. No, he has not. You know, Supreme Court today has given a tight slap to him. And said, do your homework, get me the affidavit, get me the papers. That's what has happened. So please don't do this drama. And for all the morality.
Nikhil is complaining. Nikhil.
Do not engage in contempt of court. Do not engage in contempt of court. The court never said that. This matter is not before the court. This matter is not before the court. Only the Bihar SIR matter is before the court. Only the Bihar SIR matter is before the court, and even in that, the court has not directed giving any affidavits. Stop reading from WhatsApp forwards. Look at the Supreme Court website. The order has not even been uploaded yet. The order has not even been uploaded yet. Stop reading from WhatsApp forwards of Rashtra. Stop reading from WhatsApp forwards of Amit Malviya and the IT cell.
He's an MP because of stolen votes.
The more pressing issue all the opposition MPs should resign first. Has proven that there have been substantial electoral malpractices in a single constituency. The Election Commission has not
volume down for one.
Formal complaint was given by the party whose names are not on the voter list. It's a pretty simple thing, right?
Okay, now listen. Let's not forget. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but let's not forget that there are certain leaders from the Congress party who said that Bangladesh can happen in India. I believe among them was Salman Khurshid. Among them was Manishankar Iyer, right? And Manishankar Iyer said these situations can happen. There were some people who called.
Whether Rahul Gandhi or any other agent on the so-called intellectual side. So you have all fronts open. Whether it's from US or from India, these are the fronts who are trying to bring discredit to the entire system. When they question EVM, they lose in the court. When they question SIR, court says keep on working on it. When they attack CA, people give them a slap. How long will you keep on creating the distrust for the constitutional bodies just to see yourself back in the seat of power? You cannot, because people don't like your disruptive politics. People do not like your lies, and various courts you have lost face everywhere.
I just want to say the end. I want to say the end that American volume down, please. You see, America has already hatched a big conspiracy. In the next 4 to 6 months, we will see a lot of up and down. America will try and create a situation, try and create a sense of doubt among the people of India. I began the program by saying tonight to all of you that watch out for the conspiracy. Conspiracies are played out in many levels and many parts. I just believe that if there are any Jayachans within, if there are any Mir Jafars within, they are the ones we need to be careful about. First, then we'll tackle the rest. Thank you for watching. Good night and goodbye.
Time for a quick breather. Arnab will be right back with the debate.